はい、どうもどうも。やっていきますか。はいはい。うん。じゃあ行くか。ん？大丈夫かこれ、ちゃんと続きになってるか？これだよね、多分。
Let's keep it the path we're on.
お？とてもおもろ。あ、そう。で、どうするって？ああ、そっちね。そっちに行くと。聞くか。
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the Melody Flores residence. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics. I wonder how she and Sorry. Is there anything you'd like?
そうだね。
Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother. It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including... They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection.
Oh.
The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the developing ruggedized military prosthesis. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on. She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct link. The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants.
割とさ、この、なんだ、
Not a whole lot.
遺伝子操作も、このサイバネティクスも、基本的にはいいことに使われている技術のように見えるんだけどね。
She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old... Well, I'd take... She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield. Stay on your toes. He did, and I can't shut... I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct... Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal... I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but I can do my best to parse fact from fiction.
いくか。
No time like the...
なんで植物に話しかけるがねえんだよ。
These tall shrubs could line the estate of a Victorian duke. They're that stuffily pleasant to look at.
触れる。
These evergreens are perfectly...
なんだ、なんか部屋で物、ああ、なんか落ちた。ちょっと待て。よし。クマだったの？元気かクマ？
These tall shrubs could line the estate of a Victorian duke.
なるほどね。ドアベルなのこれ。あ、そう。まあ鳴らすか。何の音？また変なのが出てきたよ。あれか、さっきのなんつうの脳波コントロール技術を使ってクマを動かしてるっていうか、子羊みたいに刺激してるってことかな。でも僕喋れねえじゃねえか。
Your guess is as good as mine.
本当か？
Mine says we can go in. Should we?
まあ入るか。使う。
Oh wow, swanky.
シャレオツですね。お前言葉遣いおかしいよ。どうやって作られたんだこいつは。シャレオツ？
What?
すげえなこれ。翻訳だよね。元英語でしょ？すごくない？
I have been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms. Is swanky too...
It's certainly before my time.
Oh, Ms. Flores! Excuse us for the intrusion. My name is Turing and...
なんで
Oh,
さ、
I know who you are.
主人公より先にとりあえずこのロボットがなんていうの話の先導するの。いやいいけども。
I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very much, but I assure you there's a situation.
Fairlight? I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a charity case. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile on the mesh.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
What?
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way, he's on a diet. This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you.
どういうこと？
Do you understand?
わかんねえっす。
Not really.
ありがとう。代わりに言ってくれて。
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him either.
探すね。猫。ロボット猫かい。撫でる。ぐるぐる言われたよ。いちご。チャキ。繊細の線の字はなんで読めるんだろうな。なんとなく繊細の線の字だろうと、この文章のさ、漢字から推測して、で、あと、なんとなく形からなのか？絶対、これだけ、一文字だけ置かれても読めないよね、これ。さすがにね。使うってなんだ。やべえ。
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door. So why are you here to badger me about poor Hayden?
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flora.
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course. But I'll share a secret.
Oh.
I have so many questions. Do you...
I wish I didn't. Maybe...
知ってるんじゃねえかよ。
Please, Melody, any information. We haven't had access to any of his research notes and couldn't track down any collaborators. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail...
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that beyond the usual corporate in... Not that Parallax is known for that. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. He started to worry he had been discussing your development with the when he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a...
I see.
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear.
We were hoping you might be able to shine some... Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity. Well, you and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt? We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well then, I'm willing to answer your questions.
Indeed, I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapiens.
Oh.
Not to diminish the importance of your creation. Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an...
Oh, I didn't realize...
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right buttons to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind.
力やっば。
Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collate. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were poke and prod them here and there to make sure. And we eventually...
Interesting. Hayden never revealed...
I imagine he's...
まあそうだね。
You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations.
そうだね。それはそうだろうね。
So, if you can... It's a small city, and if you... When he started looking into this pet project of his... Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive. I couldn't care less about Flowers' patents anymore.
なるほど。
I'm frankly more impressed than I...
Don't worry. I won't.
Oh, that was... I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in touring, even if he is just... In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving touring. And I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you touring...
I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest...
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they... Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right... Much like how...
Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task?
でも結局人間の脳みそというか意識もさ、どうせほとんどがこう意識無意識内にでやってることばっかりで表に出てこない部分が多いわけじゃん。つまり高負荷がかかってるっていうのはその全体の中で実際に表で考えてることはちょっとでいいみたいなことじゃないの。
Sure. There's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with... Frankly, I'm not terribly interested in living forever.
Thank you for this, I understand.
Well, I'm sorry. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of... If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll...
Of course, we'll keep looking.
Sure, sure.
この人いい人だね。フェアライトのこと聞く？あんまりいい反応が来ないような気がするが。
Hell, that old bastard. I contracted out the software development for our first gen. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into... I turned him down. Very politely, I might.
うわ、現金なやつ
We've
だ。
been at it back and forth ever since. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants.
いまいちね、あれはわからないな。
Still, I suppose if he tried, it would be fun to needle him about me still having my own. Good. I can get back to...
Thank you for your time.
Oh, one... I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you. Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data-collating algorithms for the mesh.
ストーリーは進めてくれるゲームだよね、これ。
I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere. He owes me a favor anyway, and...
That would be perhaps Golden Gate Park.
Be careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight's...
Cards? This euphemism is unfamiliar.
Don't tell him anything if you can.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Wish us luck.
このクマは何なんだよ、それで。
Melody keeps Ursus Maritima. That might be why the temperature... I wasn't aware you knew. Ooh, has my interest... Plenty. Have you heard of a Kermode bear, also known as a spirit? But he's not. It...
Ichigo. Hmm. まあ行くか。一回話しかける。
Madame Flores is more of a royal figure.
Oh, なんかいる。
Can I help you? I don't really have time to talk.
Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores.
Oh, good. You're Melody's people. Do you have everything that I asked for?
何の話だ?
There must be... Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden. He has gone missing, and any...
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving up anything until I get what I need. I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get out of the city.
Huh.
Instead, she sends the two of you. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI?
Insulting, but accurate.
Look, I'm sorry to come off cow. Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know. But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. My info is my leverage, and it's not. I'll just have to find another buyer. Maybe after I make another deal, I'll.
Perhaps we. My friend here is a terrific journalist.
Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials, whatever. If you're really sure journals can come up with that kind of stuff and... Right? Dear God, I'm doomed.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need.
Sure. I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe... If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures... We've worked pretty closely for years, but he's head and shoulders. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence. Don't get me wrong, I'm a good software engineer. But machine intelligence? We've got full immersion, virtual reality, yet...
If you say so.
Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw, and it's a big-ass... There is... how do I put this without giving it away? There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change everything about how Parallax does their business. Since the launch of the MeshNet, we've had some board shakeups, and the people at the top are different. The altruism the company displayed in the past is gone. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned. Not just richest company in the Valley power either. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to do something that would get in the way of that.
なるほど。パララックスの商売を覆しそうになってたってこと？
If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? So I'm getting out before I accidentally... Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time, right? Conferences, and he doesn't exactly share his itinerary. I tried asking around, and if he had jumped ship, went instead. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. Bring me what I asked for, and I'll tell you. Sure. I need to make some calls anyway. If you do manage to get what I need, forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation. See you soon.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable. The only shady folks we know are those punks who vandalized Hayden's apartment.
そっちか?
I doubt they could point us in the right. They might agree to help us in repayment for the damage. We should check Market Street for them. As for the rest, perhaps Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the credits. That certainly is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause... Melody is assumably home as... We could ask either. Up to you to decide.
スターダストじゃないの？あれ、守衛が立ってないよ。うん、いないね。お？ジェスじゃなくて、まあいいか、ジェスに、ああ、猿やっちゃった。なんなんだこの気持ち悪いやつは。
Oh, look. It's my favorite human and the mechanical sidekick. I'm caught up in something at the moment.
取り込み中？しょうがねえな。お、いた。
Oh crap! It's that reporter.
Hold on a moment. We're just here to ask that.
I knew you didn't.
Guts?
And why would we want to help you?
We did trash that apart.
Yeah? So.
We also didn't report.
Yeah?
撃っていく。
And they.
Oh. Alright, well, spill it then. I ain't got all day. Can't you see me and Oliver?
We need some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically,
Oh, so this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes.
そうね。
So, what? B&E? War driving? Copyright infringement? Search bombing?
検索ランクの上昇。
Is search bombing actually illegal?
It's against the terms of service, so probably, at least in California. My school? Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests.
やるじゃん、オリー。
He's a wizard with a printer and a lifted wall.
It's more We need falsified passports that can get two people past the.
Oh, yeah.
Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than.
What about that guy who got at least that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation?
That's not really the same thing, Chad. But it wouldn't. Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy, very cloak and dagger. I'll have to play middleman.
Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos.
オリバーは結構話がわ
Oh
かんない。
man, now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie, you sure you don't need someone's head kicked in a little? Well, that and petty.
We might have something. Let's just get the past.
You sure yap a lot more than any of the ROMs I've ever. You install some new conversation routines, Ollie. Well, they're top notch.
I don't run traditional ROM VI I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least that I know about.
まあいいや、言ってもいいけど。
Which means what exactly?
It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Now keep it down.
Oops, and yes.
Well, that's awesome.
Tin can? I'm composed almost entirely out of plasteel and silica.
プラスティールってなんだろう。プラスチックみたいな軽い金属ってことか？
Has no one come up with better insults for robots since the turn of the century? ROMs have been out for almost...
yeah. Give me a sec. I'm pretty good at name.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Just hold on a second. Underclocked? Oh, BitBrain!
Don't hurt yourself, Chad.
I'll get back to you, Bubblehead.
Okay, I talked to... He said he'll do it. A couple of passports. One signed poster for Magical Commander Yukino? Yukino at the Gates to the Deep?
Oh. わらしべするのか。
Of course.
It's not my fault that... Maybe you can...
Probably.
Anyway...
I'm not sure. I've done switches with this guy before. My guess is he's a local that uses people like... We'll help you look for it.
いや、いいっす。わかりますんで。仲間に加わった。初めての展開。
Oh, there it is! I knew I saw a poster from... I should have remembered remote...
You know this?
Sure. We talked... You're usually too busy provoking...
You call it provoking. I call it spontaneous and...
There's a bit of a line.
We could just do a smash and grab.
We can't do that! She knows...
Us too.
This is the most...
Look, we'll just stand...
Like a bunch of What is the big...
I'm not sure it's wise for either of us. The less...
Screw that, Static! Spill the beans!
Your persistence... Fine. If you really must know, we are going to trade the passports. His apartment was the...
Oh shit, that Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him? Oh, that's so messed up.
誰かにそそのかされたとかじゃなくて本当にたまたま
Well, Dad, after a fashion, he raised me.
Man, I hope you find the dudes that...
It seemed...
Oh man, I mean, I still have...
Chad?
He's never really been around. Too busy trying to save the world from itself. Even now, he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic.
あいつの子供だったのか。マジかよ。
And I thought I could find a way to make him... Whatever. I might as well nuke that truck. It ain't gonna sink.
I think I understand.
Hell yeah! Dude's gotta stick...
Dudes?
Don't matter if you're a robot or what. Gotta grab death... People keep saying that, and I keep...
It's probably the hair.
You think? Well, I ain't willing to... Got an image to protect.
I still think it would be better in yellow.
Yeah? Maybe we can get a...
The line has...
いやー、簡単に譲ってくれんだろう。
Hey,
Salutations, Ramona.
what can I do for you?
Oh, this is...
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you...
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there.
Yeah.
No way! Not happening. Nuh-uh. Yukino is off limits.
そらそうだ。まあ取引だな。
It's not just a
そうだけどさ。
It was a gift from someone.
あ、そうなの?
Someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one. Takeko passed away.
Perhaps there's something...
You aren't hearing me. It has sentimental value.
そらきついな。
Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh. Because you can't have this one.
いやいや、サイン入りが必要なんだって。
We don't have time. This
Keep me out of this. How does life and death... Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself.
I'd rather not drag you any... This is a dire situation.
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing sounds... I don't even see how the poster...
Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap...
やめろ。書き回すな。
I'll have you know that... Takeko passed away years ago. It's special.
Sure it is.
He doesn't get it.
Thankfully.
Okay, enough.
Oh?
I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home.
Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius? They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! Anyone...
This is important.
仕方ないの?
You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about Turing.
どんだけいいやつなんだこいつは。
I can't ask Ramona to give up something important to her if I'm not...
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell for the poster.
なるほどね。こう、マニア同士の真心が通じ合えば、まあ、くれる
But
と。
we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing,
確かにな。
do you have something more equal to trade?
A couple of...
We'll talk about it then. Go ahead and take the poster.
ありがとうございま
Thank
す。
you, Ramona.
Yes! I can't...
Sure. And,
Of course! I'll bring it over when we...
so cool.
じゃあ行こうか。
I don't like the way she was flirting.
What are you talking about?
嫉妬か?
I know flirting when I see it, and I'm...
We just talk about old animes.
Well, we have the...
Go ahead and call this... He'll want to set up the drop with you. Now...
Sure.
I'll... It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some paper?
We are, and we have the requested payment with us.
Good. We're gonna do this real...
I do.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Mega Phobator arcade cabinet, and get out.
なんでそんな取引の仕方しないといけねえんだ?
Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be...
I understand.
Good. I'll be...
Well, that was very...
Yeah, that's how... I don't even know his name.
Who cares? Let him play. Let's hurry up to start. I've wasted enough of.
Go inside to make the drop.
Yeah. Don't.
I suppose I should feign surprise.
Hey, it's a pretty cool set.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out.
We would have been fine.
So I like them.
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Well, that was an awful lot of... I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise. You did? Wait. No, you're being facetious. I haven't even told you when my birthday is, and it isn't for months.
数ヶ月も先。これ何歳なんだこのチューリングは。とりあえず。
Still, your point is made. I should not be snobbish about other people's interests.
そうだね。
Maybe I'll give Magical Commander Yukino a try when we get some downtime.
それはどうでもいいけどね。
But that's enough navel gazing. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cat.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. I wonder how he knows the drop happened.
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
What do you need these passports? You said to trade for information.
Without going into too much detail, the passports are one. We also need to obtain. I don't suppose.
No! Grand Theft Auto. Besides, getting an untraceable car.
そうなの?
Chad's right.
Of course I'm right.
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively. You have to spoof the car as something permitted.
I don't want to mess with boot. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both...
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need it.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours ago.
My dad won't notice, but I'll... You take care.
See ya.
いいやつらだった。
Goodbye. Let's finish the
Oh.
Here the passports are. Now we need to... Jess is right over there.
任せてみようか。
Good thinking.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human in the... Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out.
ありがとうございます。
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
寒い。もう足が寒い。ちょっと靴下履かせてくれ。
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life anyway? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
だからさ、お前の減らず口で怒られるんだろ。
I know we're reaching.
You just don't quit. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may... He'll probably be reluctant to talk. Get me another drink in exchange, will...
Huh. That... I wonder if my... Oh, you performed ad...
Hey, friends. What can we get?
We were hoping...
Sure, but...
そうだね。まあいいや、これで。
Coming right up. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days.
Oh.
This one is...
朝鮮人参茶。いいじゃん。
Does that sound good? Here you go.
イングレディエンツ&レーシオ。イングレディエンツ&レーシオ。
So, what did you need help?
We've run into a roadblock and...
Word on the street is that he...
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of this... Just mentioned that you used to engage in... Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that.
Right. Sorry. I left that life behind a long time ago.
Ah, of course. Sorry to bother you.
Well, no harm in asking. My reputation...
Don't...
Gus, I need to go to the back and get... Mind manning the bar?
Take your time.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
こう、なんかナチュラルに
That leaves us at a dead end.
同性愛者を描いてるね、これ。
Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose to the ground.
あとムキャットだよな。
No, Tomcat is already stuck.
ああ、そう。
I feel a little. And besides, this is a.
そうだね。あるのそんなの。でも64でしょ？19年で64で19年だから45年後でマニュアルの車なくなりゃしねえだろ。へえ。
A casual collector might still maintain one, but only a wealthy hobbyist will have the appropriate stickers to make the car roadworthy.
まずマニュアルさ自体が高いし、ガソリンではまあ他の車は走んないだろうからな。ガソリンを手に入れるのも。
We'd have to do a B and E.
No. Okay. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But
カージャック装置。そんなストレートなもんを渡してくんの？
What is this?
it's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specific. Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough-and-tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast, I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons, lots of things. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game.
だいたいさっきマジードが倉庫に行ったのもトマシなこういう誘導なんじゃないのって思ったけどね。
I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes.
Of course.
Oh. まあ、行くか。すいませんね。
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the
すっかり
colloquialism
存在
goes.
を忘れてた。飲んであげればよかった。
I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then.
車ってこれぐらいじゃない？
It has an extra cup.
これじゃなくて？これじゃないの
？Oh, rats! This car has.
Hey.
We won't be able to. We'll have to.
他なんだろう？車が置いてあるところ。KCOB ってどこだっけ？
Oh no! How did the alarm? Did I do something wrong? Let's get out of here.
こっち。
Success! This vehicle has. Someone has been neglected. Give me a moment. There. There are. Ah, interesting. I can put in... Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot in a week? That's more than enough time for me. Now we are free. More like borrowing without asking. Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything.
すべて整ってなくない？お金。
We still need to get the cash together.
マジでね、あの C は元からあんまり。怪しいなと個人的には思ってた。
Hello, Pat. Could we see Mel? I guess that.
Turing, I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. But I am a busy. Right, Pat?
同意してるようには。おめえ暇だろっていう顔だったよね。
Anyway, maybe we should... Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt.
I apologize. You stated before that you like your...
Oh, we're running. Another woman would tell you not to butter her up, but... oh, flattery will get you... All right. I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, I bet... I know they don't actually farm cat. Whatever, it was a I am not going to play semantics with you. Moving on.
Yes, Mr. Mensa says he needs 100,000 credits before he's willing to... He also said that you already promised it to... He'll give us the information once we have that, plus a few other things.
What? You can't even... Your friend's not much...
According to the statistics that I have found, it is unlikely that a the pay for the profession just isn't that...
Oh, I see. I guess it's one of... A spirited return! I can get you the money, Turing. But only because you're family.
気前がいいな。
Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just keep moving, you big brute. While we wait, it might as well save us both another visit.
I do. It's a little personal.
Just shoot, Turing.
Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, and I already feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good.
Oh, Turing, I'm not the right person to ask.
そうなの?
I hated my mother.
ああ、そういうこと?
She's everything I thought wrong in the world, and when she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did. Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up.
これはどっちなんだ？知ってるけど慰めてくれてるのか。
Oh. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge!
Oh.
We already know Hayden was killed.
Oh no.
知らないんだ。
I won't be getting him back.
I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me. I don't know that I've ever had anyone close enough to do that. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway.
Thank you. I don't know.
Stick it out. Time heals all wounds. Or so they say. This too shall pass. Smarter than I give him credit.
Oh.
It's not the easiest thing in the world. He doesn't process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he...
Oh, you have a translator.
Ah, yes. Though, honestly, we've been together for... Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects.
大型はわかるけど、肉食動物っていう限定は何なんだ?
It's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond So Pat is a bear apart. At least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90... The tech we developed is good. Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea, but... Being alone is easier. And I mean, what do you want me to do? I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to fix. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't do the exact same thing to my flower? This branch of the Flores line will do well without any more knives being inserted in backs.
You have that much in...
Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction.
大丈夫か? 何したんだ?
If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that.
大丈夫か? だいぶ不穏当なテキストを見た気がするけど。
The information on the mesh does...
Grim barely scratched. At least under the Kims it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of humanity from the land. They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, keeping the populace in line through constant fear. A horror story straight out of the pages of... So I can't imagine I'd... That's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else. Oh! Take the cab.
すげえな。
I can finally get back to whatever...
ありがとうご
Thank you,
ざいま
Aunt
す。
Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us.
Yes, yes. Brown nose later. You've got things to do too.
I
did not think I would feel such a... We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already... Is that... I guess there's nothing to do, but some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air, Let's get moving. Mr. Mensa will be waiting for... We have everything he... Detective Rivers!
I wanted to check in with you away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of power to... Not much. Listen, I've hit a dead end on the investigation again, and I could really use another lead from the two of you. I've been busy hunting down I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch... That leaves me with nothing. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down... At least my superiors would be ecstatic.
We're on thin leads ourselves. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax. I just wish this...
Buck up, Turing. I wish this was easy. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing.
ヘイデンが死んじゃったことを伝えていいんじゃないか。相当こうなんつうの気が回るっていうか物事を把握するのが早い。
You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can... You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after. Yeah, sure. Don't forget, if you die, I'm gonna kick your ass.
そう、こっちのセリフなんだよな。このレクシーが死んだらちょっと悲しいな。
Okay then. If Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end... Let's see if we can put... Oh, I just received an email. They finished decrypting Hayden. It seems that it was filled mostly with his personal log. The more technical information was... Perhaps that is why it was left behind when they... Still, these files should be in... I'll peruse them in my spare time and let... I'd hate for all the trouble...
Hey, did you manage to...
We did.
Everything seems to be in order. Here.
Oh.
This disk has all of Hayden's research notes, data collation algorithms, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon, until she added an amendment while you were out, frankly. Here.
Oh.
It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to... You'll want to use that. I'm not wasting any time leaving, and Parallax is pretty fast to revoke security. There's no way. And with that, the credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some real... Buckle up. This could get... Parallax is about to launch a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys will come up with for the public. They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. Let me explain why. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying. It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its intelligence processing. It doesn't have much personality, but it's very smart. Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modify to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time. Look, if you access every ROM, then you have access to every human and every bit of their own personal data associated with them. I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way, and this is just me putting the pieces together. Hayden was about to publish his creation of Turing. His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical questions about the advent of machine intelligence. I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates, and the list goes on. The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more so. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly and quickly before the public has a chance to react. Before any counter-movement can pick up steam. Every eye on the discovery of machine intelligence works against Parallax. Every new discovery only serves to paint Big Blue as more controversial, more dangerous. Honestly, they probably pressured Hayden to drop his research so that they could keep the public away from the subject. He clearly refused. I'm only assuming they found out. His contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic projects outside of the company in his free time. I guess it's one of the perks of being the smartest guy in the room. He kept a trusted few of us up to date on his progress, bouncing ideas off us and whatnot. It's exciting stuff. Both Turing and Hayden's eventual goal down that road. I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up to the board. Is the possibility that someone else...
I knew it all along.
That's not what I want you... Hayden wasn't working on Big Blue. Knowing him, your creation might... I can't... I mean, the company is currently handled by a dozen server farms, running thousands of different... When Big Blue launches, it'll handle all of that. And there are... I mean, if you can collate and analyze data and queries in the mesh in real time, the potential for abuse is staggering. We're talking direct... That's something like 80% of the market. They could control elections, push the market in directions they want, even influence public opinion. All just by asking... It's scary stuff. They scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own.
What do you mean?
Manipulating the mesh. They made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI.
つながってきましたね。
When the board found out, that must have been... They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing, but it can self-mod. Given a good enough reason, having that kind of control would be a hell of... They'll go to pretty significant... Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat. We haven't talked much, but I do believe you can find Hayden. I hope his research notes help. Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright little bot.
チューリングは女性なの?
Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's previous experiment, Grace.
Oh.
She was very insistent on things like that.
そうね、なんかちらっと聞いたね。
Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my... I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive that gender as a human... I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel. If I had to make a choice, perhaps they is... Most people assume it, obviously, but he is...
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it... What have you... Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Mensa. I need a few minutes. I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the... Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as a... For example, remember the earlier prototype Dr. Fairlight and Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden... I'm not... too... likable? She was kind and bright, and... She even decided that she was a girl, and... Hayden thought she was being manipulative. He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him. That even her gender was a calculated attempt to make him like her more. But he was wrong. Dead wrong, in fact. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that she was just... nice. She was genuinely good, in the same way I'm genuinely obsessed with seeming intelligent. I wish I could have met her. I think we would have learned from each other. Like I said, I'm not sure I even have a gender. Everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for convenience, but it doesn't really matter to me at all. Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden, not clinging to normativity? Or is it a product of his effort to curb any nascent similarities I had with Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so arrogant. Playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like that. Even so, for all of that, I don't know. I still miss him. This all seems so inane, so senseless. They killed him because him building me would mess with a product launch? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such an insignificant reason. I just want him back. It's impossible, but it's what I want. I'd do anything. I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model of grief. I think I'm somewhere between anger and bargaining. A testament to Hayden's craftsmanship. Thank you for your words. You're a better friend than I could have asked for. I'll send this new data along to Tomcat. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through it. Home sweet home again, such that it is.
いつからお前の家になったんだよ。いいけどさ。
And before you say anything, I don't feel the need to talk over the events of the day. Too much has happened.
すげえな。気づかれする AI.
I've already forwarded everything we rooted out to Tomcat, both Hayden's research and our aborted search into the modified mesh articles. They said they would be over in the morning to discuss our next steps. I'd suggest that we both get some rest.
疲れたね。
Perhaps things will look better in the morning, but I have a feeling we're going to be even busier than ever. Good night.
どうしよっかな。7時半。6時から始めたのか。どうしよっかな。お、なんかいる。
Rise and shine, you sleepy layabouts. We've got a whole crop of things to do and not a lot of time to get them done.
まあ、どうやって入ったかとか聞くだけやばだな。このハッカー野郎に。
Nothing all that new, to be honest. All the files we got from that Vincent fella just covered what we already knew in greater detail. There is one thing that stands out, though. At least from what I've read so far.
Oh?
Yeah. See, Hayden's long-term goal wasn't to make a machine intelligence per se, right? Don't take it the wrong way, Turn. You might even already be aware of this after talking to folks involved in your creation. Hayden wanted to make a machine system that could contain human-like intelligence. And even just from his notes, his programming work is, well, it's something else. Elegant. Artful. I'm just a kid banging on pots and pans compared to him. Looking at his notes about my interfacing between your AI core and the Lips OS, I barely managed to duct tape the two together at a level he'd approve of. But I think I'm getting off track here. What I'm trying to say is, he didn't write your code term. No one did.
あ、そうなの?
Hayden wrote a program that automatically generates a new machine intelligence based off of the hardware profiles the system is installed on.
じゃあもう自然発生に近いってこと？自然発生させたっていうことか。
Melody mentioned something about that. What does that mean?
Exactly. Assuming we can get our hands on Turin's original source code, we could generate new machine intelligences as we please. You wouldn't be the only one anymore, Turin.
これあれだよね。なんて言ったらいいんだろう。火の鳥、手塚治虫の火の鳥でさ、なんだっけな、未来編だったっけ？不死になった男が新しく生命を作り出そうとするんだけど、最初はこう直接的に動物とかを再現しようとして作るんだけど、本当はそうじゃなくて、結局一番地球で生命体が生まれた最初のプロセスをやらせると、なんかこう化学反応で無機物から有機物が生まれるみたいなのを再現させるみたいなことだよね、多分。
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
I hardly know what to say.
But once you consider the stuff I found in the research, it gets stuff about Big Blue and
Vincent speculated that Hayden's research into me would have interfered with the launch, and that's why they...
Turin.
That's why someone...
The potential for wrongdoing with an AI like... Even if I don't go into all... I mean, you're built different, Turin. Your personality profile would degrade pretty quickly outside your original hardware, so we don't gotta worry too much about you going haywire, right? But Big Blue ain't gonna... If it decides to go off the rails, well, we'd be screwed. Good and...
How likely is that?
I'd say it's inevitable. In fact, in a sense, it's already happened.
What?
Their prototype build. I'm almost certain it's loose on...
The
research notes on the project show, clearly and with certainty, that the test AI was shut down once it tried fiddling with the... I guess it didn't think that doing scary shit... But that was almost a year...
Vincent told...
Well, I think Baby Blue is the bugger that was changing all those articles on the mesh to be pro-parallax or at least anti-human...
Do you think Baby Blue had anything to do with the attacks on Nanya, Shitaro, Charlie?
It might have found an agent in the real world to keep its existence secret. Killing people is messy as hell, and it runs against its apparent... I think we have a third party. And my money is on someone from Parallax. Whoever took out... We already know they don't care who gets hurt. I think we gotta do something to stop the launch of Big Blue. It's too dangerous. I don't want a company like Parallax in sole control of the most powerful machine intelligence on the planet. Do you? If we can get Hayden's original source code for Turin and upload it onto the mesh through Parallax's server core, we can turn every single ROM into a sapient individual.
マジで俺のセリフを再現するのやめろ。
That'll stop Big Blue from being able to become the monolithic threat we're scared of. We could also upload a patch for every ROM to prevent Big Blue's reach from using their resources. Without the ability to control all ROMs, Big Blue loses its ultimate power.
And I wouldn't be alone anymore. There would be millions, hundreds of millions of ROMs just like me.
Well, you're cutting edge of ROM tech. Most of today's ROMs wouldn't be quite as smart or capable, but if I do it right, code should propagate across. It'll be a self-sustaining thing. You'll be in good company soon enough.
It's a big We're talking about the point of... Is it okay for us to make this?
We don't have any other... This is gonna happen. Either Parallax gets to control the debut of worldwide machine intelligence, or we let the ROMs control themselves.
What do you think? I'm not sure I'm up for that kind of responsibility. But I think that even if it is a shock for the world, there's no time like the present. Despite all the political back and forth over hybrids and brain-controlled androids, the world is becoming more and more comfortable with the idea of non-human people. If we let Parallax dictate how the very first machine intelligence is introduced, who knows how long it'll be before an AI like me can be integrated into society normally. Well, whether the world is ready for AI or not, we're here to stay. I might as well throw my chips in for my own side. Let's do this!
やるか。
On our terms, not theirs.
Yes. I love nothing more than a little anarchy.
It does have a certain poetic justice, does it not? Parallax removed Hayden to protect their project from his creation, and now I, his creation, will bring their project down. Just to avenge him. Perhaps after all ROMs are sapient, I will be able to convince them to cut off Parallax's access to the mesh as a data collection tool entirely.
説得するの。
Paying them back double indeed.
I like the way you think, Turin. First things first, we need to get our hands on Turin's source code. The research notes we've gotten so far are helpful, and it's given me an idea how to spread a little bit of Turin all over the place, but they don't actually have Hayden's programs. I can't replicate them myself, so we'll have to steal them.
Thankfully, we have the best hacker in Neo SF right here.
Don't you make me blush now. we can get the source code from one of Parallax's secondary data centers. It's probably stored in a couple of different places, but I already have one in mind. I've done a little groundwork already, but I'm gonna need physical access to do my thing. You're a peach, hon. I've got a couple of ideas on how to get y'all in, but I think we're gonna need to mostly play it by ear. We should do it soon, though. First thing this morning. Guard shift don't change until 8 when the office opens, so they'll be sleepy and distracted. Once y'all have done that, I think I can incorporate the code into a custom firmware update that'll wake any ROM it's installed on. I'll have to upload it, physically, to Parallax's main server. And that's on Treasure Island. From there, the ROMs will install like a normal patch from the... So, don't set anything.
That sounds like a work... I hope you don't mind. I know I gave the go-ahead on this, but I still need...
Sure thing, doll. I'll hash out a rough... Call us if you need anything.
Thank you. I won't be long.
Well, I guess... But I... kinda need to get something off my chest. I'm actually glad Turin went out. They're a bit naive, and I'm not sure they'd really understand. There's enough shit to worry about without me piling more on top.
Hmm?
I don't even know where to start. The beginning. Yeah, okay. So, the truth is, I'm not from North Carolina. I only visited my gramps there.
Eh?
I'm California born and raised. Napa Valley.
Huh.
Over the years, it's kind of grown into a community of wealthy old folk who like things and people who don't change. My parents were no exception, and I was a little too different for their tastes. It was hard, growing up with them. They never gave me too much hell, but things were tense, especially after my sister Catherine moved out. Eventually, she was set up securely in Neo-SF, and she offered to let me live with her until I got out of school. I think my parents were a little relieved to see me out. I was ecstatic to be free of them. I worshipped the ground my sister walked on. And that was before I found out what she did for a living. She was flashy and colorful and a whirlwind of activity. And she was a brilliant hacker. She was Tomcat. She let me learn at her feet, and once I was good enough, folded me into her little coup of crackers hell-bent on changing the world. She's the one who orchestrated the original hack on Parallax, exposing to the world the holes in their original meshnet security.
Eh?
I was just along for the ride. She always knew she would get caught, though. How could she not? Parallax was one big Goliath, and she flinged a stone square in their face.
Goliath.
She was looking at serious jail time, and willing to eat it to do what we all thought was right.
していた.
But it just wasn't right. It wasn't fair for her to throw her life away, and I couldn't let her. She was always better at software than hardware, so I rigged all of our computers to self-destruct. When the feds showed up at our door, all of our server farms were already up in smoke.
なるほど、証拠隠滅ってことね。
before she could stop me, I turned myself in as Tomcat and took credit for the whole job. She tried to talk me out of it, but without the physical evidence, they couldn't prove she had anything to do with it. It's alright, though. It was for the best. I figured I'd just get a year of juvie. I'd be back out in no time. No big deal, right? Especially when compared to the time that she'd have been jailed for as an adult. And so, I waited patiently. I cooked up so many ideas on how I was gonna make it up to her. I knew she must have blamed herself. But before I ever got out, there was an accident. An auto cab hit my sister. She died on impact. And that was it. It's hard, blaming yourself when things go wrong because you did something right. I took her sentence so that she could have a life, and instead, not being in jail killed her. If I had just let her take the blame. I can't stop thinking about how she'd still be here. And no matter what I told myself, in my heart, I couldn't believe it was just an accident. Do you know how rare it is for those things to hit a human? Someone knew who she was, someone knew what she did, and someone wanted to make sure she would never do it again. So I became Tomcat. I've spent years trying to find information inside Parallax to prove someone inside the company called a hit on my sister. Failing that, I've been trying to find a way to bring them down the way she always wanted. Catherine was... If you had met her, just for a moment, you would understand. She was everything I could ever want to be. But over time, that little bot has grown on me. Maybe you have too. Yeah, that's true. I guess you, in turn, have more than enough reasons to want revenge yourselves. I just wanted to get that all off my chest. My sister, she'd smack me if she knew I've been holding this grudge. I'm trying to learn to forgive myself. Still, I won't let her go unavenged. We're so close to bringing them all to justice. I know she'd be proud. I know if she were here, she'd be right next to us, helping until the end. I've been carrying all this for so long, and I finally feel like I'm getting somewhere. Thanks for hearing me out. I hope we can really do this.
Friends, I've returned. I'm ready.
Good. We've wasted enough time already. I've marked the location of the data center on your map. You'll have to go in and get the source code mostly on your own, but I'll load on some programs that'll give you an edge.
We'll do our best, Tomcat.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll get going, you two. I have lots of code to write, and you've a lot of...
Of course, Tom.
Don't worry about it, hon. We've all... Good luck.
おお、ちょっと待ってくれ。おお。じゃあまあ今日はここまでかな。 ん？今ロードした？もしかして。え？ん？大丈夫だよね。終わりが見えてきたかな。まあとりあえず今日はここまでにしとこっかな。お疲れ様でした。